Okay, so for page 151, you're told to diagram problems 1 through 20 on a separate sheet of paper. Make sure you've done that. I've got some of the answers here on the board. I don't have all of them. What I did is I took the ones that I felt like you would struggle with a little bit, and I wanted to make sure you knew how to do them correctly, so I put those on the board. I've got 1 through 3 in order set up for you. So this is how you should have it. Martin Luther, the subject, was the linking verb, okay? And because it is a linking verb, you're gonna have your slanted line towards the subject and then your predicate nominative written down on the same line as the subject and the verb, okay? So that's how number 1 should be. Now you don't need to worry about adding the adjectives and the prepositional phrases. You don't have to worry about that right now. All they want is this. So for number 2, ushers is the subject, seated is the action verb, and so our line shows that as well, okay? Our line is a vertical line that meets the horizontal line, does not go through. Same is true for the predicate nominative. They don't go through, but the only difference between the predicate nominative and the direct object is that one is vertical, one is slanted, okay? And then your direct object is visitor. Number 3, subject dog, action verb broke, and your vertical line, because it's an action verb, and your direct object, vase. Okay, next we have number 5. I skipped number 4. Make sure you do number 4 though. Number 4 is a predicate nominative, so make sure you have your slanted line. Make sure your slanted line does not cross. Steamship collects tons, okay? Subject, action verb, vertical line that meets the horizontal line but does not cross, and the direct object. Number 7, rice is our linking verb, so we've got our slanted line towards the subject and our predicate nominative. We skip down to number 10. Number 10 is a compound sentence, so I set it up as so. First subject, tongue, our action verb taste, and our direct object flavors. Make sure your line is vertical and it does not cross, okay? Remember, we joined compound sentences at the verb, okay? So we write our little stair, dotted line, our conjunction, and now we go to our subject. The subject is it, taste is the verb, flavors is, taste is an action verb, so that means flavors is a direct object, and our line has to be vertical because it's a direct object. So both sentences have direct objects, so both sentences have vertical lines, okay? Very important, make sure they don't cross the horizontal line. Number 11, Paul took gospel, same thing, subject, action verb, direct object, vertical line. Number 13, Brian is president, linking verb, predicate nominative, slanted line. Number 15, okay, so we have a compound subject here. We've got Paul connected with the conjunction and Barnabas. So both of these are the subject and they're represented like this. The line that separates the subject or subjects from the verb goes all the way across. Okay, so make sure your line that separates the subject from the verb goes all the way across. Now you have our verb. We have an action verb, and finally we have our direct object with a vertical line that does not cross, okay? I've got the last 2 here. It's the one I was talking to you guys about in the other video. Last time I did this, the phone fell. Yay, it didn't fall. Okay, it survived. All right, this was problem 16. It's got that compound verb and compound direct object. Okay, so let's see, maybe this is a better spot. Jesus is the subject, okay? To split off the compound verbs, you make sure you draw your line, splitting off your subject, splitting from the subject and the verb, okay? So Jesus, line going all the way across. And so we have our first verb, forgave. Forgave is an action verb, and the direct object is Peter, okay? And so we've got our vertical line here that doesn't cross. We've got a conjunction that connects the 2 verbs together. So our second verb is used. Used is an action verb as well. And our second direct object there is signified. Again, please make sure that your vertical lines don't cross. And this one I thought maybe some of you might struggle with it. Okay, remember when it's an understood U, it goes in the subject spot and the U goes inside parentheses. Okay, so make sure you have it written like this. Make sure your line that separates your subject from your verb or verbs goes all the way across. Okay, so in this case we have you and our first subject count. Count is an action verb and number is the direct object. Count and add are joined by the conjunction and, I believe. Yes, that is correct. Okay, and then add is an action verb, so we've got our vertical line to show our direct object. Okay, for today, whenever you're watching this, which will be Monday, I'm gonna quiz you on some of the things that we just went over here on the video. So please make sure you watch the video before you make the quiz. Before you take the quiz, I'm gonna put a note on the quiz just so that you're sure that you've watched the video, that you understand what you're doing, and then go ahead and take the quiz. All right, guys, that's it for today.